Welcome to Extra Time TV. James is here. Maybe the storm is messing with us on the internet. Of course, we have a lot of big games to talk about. Argentina, folks, took on Austria and secured their place in the second round of the World Cup. Messi scoring 2 goals, missing a penalty. A lot took place. But before I get your opinion, James, I'm going to pull up the beautiful stats from SofaScore. So as you can see here, SofaScore giving the man of the match to Lionel Messi. Well, obviously, I guess. 90 minutes, 1 penalty miss. They made sure I put that in the stats. There's no escaping. 2 goals, 2 big chances created. As you can see, his heat map there. And before we get to the other stats, because we'll be talking about a lot of goats today, James, let me hear your thoughts on Leo Messi's performance.
No, I think it was a great performance again, all round. As I say, looking every bit the player that we expected him to be in the tournament, even maybe looking a little sharper, actually, but it's been a joy to watch. And what I think is more beautiful is the fact that the team complimenting him as well, and he complimenting the team. So it was a great performance. Obviously, there's that little blip on the radar with the penalty miss, but these things happen in football. He stepped up after that and he scored these 2 goals beautifully. So that's football.
Yes. So we're going to pull up some more stats as well, folks. From SofaScore as well. Special thank you. Scaloni once again opting for his 4-4-2 formation. He seems to like that formation a lot. However, as we've seen, but we'll get to that. And also Austria playing the 4-2-3-1. And I have to say, before we get into all the tactics and so on, I was very impressed with how Austria set up. Before the match, James, you and I told a lot of people off air that this was going to be a difficult game. And I think even though Argentina won in the end, I think the way that Austria was set up, the way how they structured their team, it had to take something special to bring them down. Because yes, okay, they got the penalty in the beginning, but Argentina had to be very patient and probe and eventually come up with some special goals in the end to get past what I thought was a very organized Austria. And I felt, listen, I'm an Argentina fan, but I was not afraid to admit a little bit nervous and also very impressed with the tactics of Austria. Let me hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think, it was a typical Ralph Rangnick kind of system, very high pressing. And they looked very, very good at it at the start, as if he's drilled them very well. So, but my concern was once you beat the press, this is where Argentina came into their own. They found their way to beat that press, and obviously then opportunities came. But there was so many good performances early on, I thought, from Austria, But, ultimately, I suppose game IQ, game management came into it, but it was a very tactical game at the beginning, And like I said, I thought SeaWorld from Austria was fantastic. He was pulling the strings in midfield, and they had a good solid line, Alaba at the back, and then they brought Danzo in, and I thought Danzo did pretty well for the large part of the game. But I think it was a tactical chess match initially until Argentina then started to break the lines and then play through the press. And then obviously we saw what happened. But it was a good game. It was a good one, especially for the neutral as well. There was a lot of good football, some good saves as well. Even I think Martinez had a really good save at one point. So it was a good game all in all. But you're right, it was a good tactical, ploy from Ralph Rangnick to try and beat Argentina, but he wasn't able to come up at the end of it.
Yes. And I was very impressed with how they did things, both teams. And it was for people who appreciate the tactical side of the game. You saw how Scaloni adapted. You saw how, with the water hydration breaks, how both coaches did their instructions. And we're seeing how coaches have to adapt to this new change. And, we have some more stats we're going to pull up here before we wrap things up. The overall stat, Argentina 54% possession, Austria 46%, Argentina 12 shots on target, or 12 and 5 shots on target, versus Austria with 6. 3 big chances created, which resulted in 2 goals. Well, and then it could have been with the penalty. 89% accurate passes, and SofaScore with a rating of 7.08, and for Austria 6.56. And of course, my favorite, the momentum map here, which includes the shot map as well. And the reason why I brought this up again, and for people in TikTok as well, I know you're looking at this live right now. Enjoy. We're doing a late stream. There's a storm, so we really appreciate you sticking with us. So, in the green, it's Argentina. As you can see, in the past, you would expect Argentina to dominate these things. But they have, under Scaloni, they're not afraid to concede possession to the opposition team, which is, not something you usually used to associate with Argentina. Before, they would try to take initiative. They would attack. They're known as our attacking team. But this map shows, even though Argentina had less possession, you see how effective they were on the shot maps. You could see a lot of Argentina's shots were in the box centrally and around, leaning towards the left side, and there was one shot from outside, and well, the limited shots from Austria in there, which I thought Arnautovic and those guys would have made some problems in the end, and they did cause some difficulties, but not enough to break the Argentina defense. So Argentina got the 3 points in the end, securing qualification. Messi, 5 goals so far in the tournament, surprising a lot of us, including myself, who's an Argentina fan. I monitored him for the entire of the MLS seasons since the last World Cup, and I was a bit worried. These are top players, decent opposition, and I seen him running past players, dribbling. He played for the 90 minutes. He's getting stuck in. Every time he gets stuck in, I get a little nervous, thinking he's going to get injured. But it seems like whatever physical work he's going on so far is working. Also, Christian Romero came off, but I got an update while we were setting up this stream that, Cuti Romero, it's a preventative measure, and they will probably rest him for the next game against Jordan. So, James, now that they've secured the result, Scaloni, that seems to be his lineup for the group stages. Do you think Messi's going to play in the next game? How do you think Scaloni is going to approach the next game?
It's a difficult question because, obviously, I think tactically and, to preserve the squad, he should probably rest Messi. But, if you're Messi, you've got 5 goals, obviously, in the 2 games. Do you really want to be rested? And I think that might come into it too. So we'll have to see. But if he continues on that kind of form, I can only imagine how many goals he's going to bag before the end of the tournament. So, I think throwing caution to the wind from a coaching perspective would be the best idea because, let him rest the next game and then it preserves him unless he has to come on. It's, if, let's say, they're not able to get, because they'll want to get 9 points, they'll want to win the group, in a sense, which they've already qualified, but they want to get as many points as possible. So, but saving him for those future games, I think would be a good thing. It'll give him the legs because, like we said, he's not getting any younger, and I think it's actually his birthday today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So he is, he is a day older in a sense, or a year older, if you want to say that. But I think it would be the prudent thing to rest him. But again, it's that desire to play. We'll see.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching Extra Time TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe.